Hey guys, it's Kelly, and today I am sitting down to talk about leasing. Now, leasing is one of the most complicated parts about purchasing a vehicle, in my opinion. So there's a ton of different videos that I could do on this, but I thought today I would just kind of do like a leasing 101 and talk about some of the benefits about leasing, because I am very pro leasing, especially for growing families. If you guys want like some more specific leasing videos like negotiating, ending a lease, leave a comment below and let me know about which other leasing topics I should do, or if you want me to elaborate on anything, because I just kind of wanted to make this video just scratching the surface, kind of explaining the ins and outs of leasing and what some of the benefits and disadvantages are. So make sure you give this video a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to my channel, because I have so much other car related content coming. I do a car tour a week as well as a lot of other car buying tips and tricks. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so first things first, what is a lease? Now, a term that gets thrown out all the time is that a lease is basically like renting a car. And I do think that's an okay way to look at it, but it's definitely more than just that. When you lease a car, you pay for a certain percentage of that car. That is called the residual value. The residual value is set by the manufacturer and it cannot be negotiated. Unfortunately, residual values are not always available to the public, but if you ask the dealership what the residual value is of a certain car, they'll be able to tell you. If you're wondering about how a car leases, remember that a higher residual, the better of a deal a lease would be. Let me give you an example. If a car has a residual value of 60%, which is an awesome residual, that means that over your 3-year lease, you'll be paying for 40% of the car, because the manufacturer is saying that the car will be worth 60% of its value at the end of your 3-year lease. At the end of the 3-year lease, you have a couple of options. You can either turn the car back into the manufacturer, or you can decide to buy that car for that set residual value. So it will literally be a dollar amount. Now, this is kind of a win-win situation because that number cannot be changed. So like, let's say they tell you that the car would then be worth, let's say $24,000, but that is the hottest car on the market because used car prices are crazy and there's no way you could ever find a 2017 that cheap. Since that residual was already set by the manufacturer, you have the ability to buy it for that price. So like I said, residual values can get super complicated and I can definitely go more in depth at a different time. But today, I again really want to focus on some of the benefits of leasing and why I think it is such a good idea for growing families. So if you have been car shopping lately, you may have noticed that cars are very expensive, like very expensive. That's because they have so much more technology on them. They're more fuel efficient, they're better, they're faster, they last longer, apparently. All of these things are awesome, but they equal a more expensive car. So to offset the cost of a $50,000 car, manufacturers are offering extended financing terms, deferred payments, no down payments to make the payments more affordable. The problem is if you finance a $50,000 car for 84 months, and then you don't make any payments for 6 months and you don't put any money down, at that 3-year mark, you have paid off very little of the car. And you're probably what's called upside down, meaning that you owe more on the car than the car is worth. Now, having inequity in a car happens all the time. Cars lose their value so quickly, and in fact, they lose most of it in those first 3 years of ownership. So most people kind of get that new car bug around that 39-month mark. Now, I know you said you were going to keep it and drive it for 6 years or drive it into the ground, but next thing you know, you didn't realize how much space these kids take up. You didn't know that you couldn't fit a car seat in the 3rd row. You didn't know that you were going to have twins. Things happen. Life happens. But if you get into a 7-year loan and then you only pay on it for 3 years, since your payments are so small, you've paid off so little of that car that it's very hard to get out of the car without carrying over thousands of dollars in equity. And sometimes the bank won't even allow it. So that is one of the main reasons why I think leasing for a growing family is so important, just because as your family's growing, it's hard to forecast how much space you're going to need. Another benefit of leasing is that you get the newest technology, the best safety features, the most reliable car for the most affordable monthly payment. Now, when you finance a car, you can get that monthly payment, down a little bit by extending financing terms and money down. We already talked about why I don't love that option. But maybe you're telling yourself, you know what? Yeah, it's a $550 payment, but it's a brand new car and I'm going to drive it for forever. So I don't mind paying that $550. Well, that $550 payment year 1 doesn't really sting. It's a brand new car. It's got the latest technology. Year 2, it's still a brand new car. They haven't changed the body style. Everything's fine. Year 6, of that same loan, that same $550 payment, now on a car that's completely encrusted in goldfish, that's an outdated body style, that is having a lot of issues, you're still paying $550 a month on that car because of the extended financing terms. When you lease, you're only paying on it for 3 years. And then you're out of that car and then you're into the newest. And again, I'm just speaking from my experiences. I've sold thousands of cars and I see it over and over and over again. So I would really encourage you to be honest with yourself. People get in a car, they pay it off, and then as soon as that car's paid off, they get that new car bug. And then they decide to get right back into another loan, another 6-year loan. People are always having car payments. I think that on some level, if you can accept that you're just going to have a car payment, but with that, you're going to have the latest safety features, you're not going to have an equity in your car, and you have the ability to make sure the car is able to grow with your family, I think that leasing is the better option. So one thing people always say about leasing is, well, but I don't own anything. I want to own anything. And not to drive home the same point over and over again, but again, year 3 of a 7-year loan, you also don't own the car. In fact, you're probably about anywhere from $7,000 to $8,000 upside down in that car. So I really think about ownership when you're thinking about a car. Now, there's a lot of people who still just do not like leasing, and I'm not here to convince you to lease if you don't think it's right for you. If you don't want to always be in a car payment, if you are more of a budget buyer, maybe leasing isn't for you. But I would always encourage you that if you want to look at purchasing a car, look at used. Look at something that's already taken that depreciation hit. I think leasing new is great. I think buying new, there's very few situations where I think it's a good idea. I would always try to buy used if possible. The other caveat to leasing is that you have to stay under a certain mileage limit. This really is the number one reason I think why people cannot lease, because when you lease, you have to purchase miles ahead of time. So you can either purchase anywhere from 10 to 18,000 miles a year. Now, it's not yearly, it's just over the course of that 2 to 3 year lease. But if you are someone who drives 20,000 miles a year, leasing is probably not for you. Some other benefits of leasing is that you're always under warranty. Because leases are only 2 or 3 years, manufacturer's warranty are anywhere from 3 to 6 years. So that means that you are covered under warranty, there's no surprise cost, and a lot of manufacturers actually have maintenance included too. So then literally the only thing you have to pay is that lease payment. And then your car's under warranty, you got the newest safety and technology features, your maintenance may be included, and you're getting a new car every 3 years. Okay guys, so that is just like my 2 cents on why I like leasing for growing families. Comment below about what you think. I know leasing's not for everyone. If you follow Dave Ramsey, please don't come for me because I know he does not like leasing, but what you get with leasing is you get a newer car, you get a safer car, you get the latest technology, and you get it for the most affordable payment. And that just is what it is. Do I think it's the cheapest way to drive a car? No. Do I think it's some of the best values and the way to protect yourself from any inequity? 100%. All right, I'll see you guys next time.